I lack a better word, but I guess this is a real CD. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. It's a pony kind of Christmas. Yes, because when I was young, when I was in my 20s, I was a brony. So yeah, I can't remember the exact year. I remember I saw it on Netflix once before I hated Netflix. That's a whole other story why I don't like Netflix at all. All I could say is Blockbuster. You know, that album. For those who are like Gen X and Millennials don't know exactly what I mean. Except I can do a whole video explaining why I don't like Netflix at all, but that's for another day. But yeah, it's basically it's the characters of My Little Pony, but they sing Christmas songs. So it's pretty good. And yes, I actually do like listen, as crazy as it sounds. Early 90s millennial like me does listen to Frank Sinatra. I love Frank Sinatra's music. Ronnie James Dio, so heavy metal. Rolling Stones, which I barely listen to once in a blue moon. And obviously Lady Gaga. Willie Nelson, Last Man Standing. Now that's what I call Christmas. From the 2000s. And of course, one of my favorites, Def Leppard, Hysteria by Love. Just look at that graphic art. That is so artistic. Hopefully I don't scratch the living crap out of these CDs. And of course, Alan Jackson's got church music. And yes, Toy Story. Like the first Toy Story movie soundtrack. Yes, that's a thing. My Little Pony, different thing. That's true. Aerosmith. Dio, so Ronnie James Dio. Molly Crew. And of course, Bon Jovi, which, you know, those who know me know that I live in New Jersey, so it was obvious I was going to like Bon Jovi. Most people in Jersey usually do. Again, never Bon Jovi. Which, obviously, those who know, be no surprise that I'll have quite a bit of Ozzy and Bon Jovi and stuff like that. So the 80s group voice, which I'm kind of like, I liked it when I was younger, but now I'm just kind of like, okay. Definitely one of my favorite heavy metal bands, Disturbed. The Asylum album. Now that was a good album. I mean, you had like freaking The Asylum, a song was good. Warrior, Another Way to Die, Crucified, Innocence. Really good songs. And, Avenged Sevenfold. That's Seether. I think it's Seether. Korn, which I also don't know, that's a heavy metal band from the 2000s. And then Bruce Springsteen, which I don't listen to a whole lot, but a little bit. Jimi Hendrix Experience. Because I do listen, like I said, I do listen to old music. Leonard Skinner, because it has Freebird on it. Of course, you can tell Slipknot, one of my most favorite metal bands. Ozzy Osbourne Tribute with Randy Rhoads. And the Beatles, which I got from my grandmother, because my grandmother actually saw the Beatles in real life. Like, my grandmother actually has original concert tickets from the Beatles, which is actually kind of funny, because my grandmother's father, so my great-grandfather on my grandmother's side, he took my grandmother when she was a young kid. I think she was a young kid, either a young kid or a young adult. I had to check. And when they went to the Beatles concert, she said when the girls would scream for the Beatles, she said that was a real thing. Like, they actually screamed so loud that her father had a hard time hearing for like a couple of days. And he said, I think, my grandmother's name is Susan, so he said, I swear to God, Susan, I'll never go into that God D concert ever again. I swear, that was the worst. Those girls did not stop screaming, and I can't hear SHRT, for days. Like, he was pretty pissed. Like, when she said he was really pissed off, like, he got really mad. But of course, unfortunately, he was an alcoholic, so, you know how that goes. But yeah, he was a bit, like she said, he was a bit of a hothead. So, obviously you could tell that he got mad pretty easily. And she said he literally never went to any concert ever again, because he thought that girls were going to come there and start screaming and yelling. even though that was just for the Beatles, but she said it was that bad, like she couldn't even hear them play the song that much, and she said it was kind of annoying, because she wanted to listen to their music, but it was hard, because all you heard was them screaming, but like she said, that actually did happen, and that wasn't made up. I was just like, then what's the point of going to a concert, if you're going to scream and not listen to the words of the songs, or the stories that the songs are telling. That's from Drew's famous old school country classics. I do like country music. Speaking of which, Randy Travis. Yeah, it's one of those ones you used to get Spirit Halloween that Drew's famous. Spirit Halloween used to, I don't know why they don't anymore, but and of course Beastie Boys. I do listen to some rap. Not a lot, but some. Somebody did the Breakaway album. I can't remember who the hell did that. And of course Bon Jovi, which says there's going to be a bit of Bon Jovi. Alan Jackson, and the Cherry Pie album Warrant, and Dokken, which is actually has the song. One of the CDs has the song from Dream Warriors, which is from The Nightmare Before Elm Street. It's like 80s hair metal. And obviously Alice Cooper. Hank Williams, like the original Hank Williams from like the 40s. It's like 40s country music. Megadeth. Again, never Megadeth. Because it was funny too, because when I had long hair, like really long hair, because I had, before my girlfriend cut it, my hair was long, like past my shoulders, like it was pretty long. Now, it was usually blonde, I had to dye my hair blonde again, because that's what it's supposed to be. But basically, a lot of times I would go to bars with my mother and different places, and a lot of people said when I had my long hair, because I always kept it down, because I don't believe in ponytails. Like ponytails, as crazy as it sounds, would annoy the living crap out of me. Like when I had long hair, people tried to get me to ponytails, or girls would say, "Oh, well, you look handsome with ponytails," and I'm like, I am not doing no goddamn ponytails. I hate it. But partially because I'm self-conscious, about my looks. Like I get very self-conscious of certain things, like I refuse to do, and it upsets me to do certain things with my looks because I don't feel confident at all, and never will. And like ponytails, because I felt I didn't like the ponytails have that slick back short hair look, like make me look like someone from like a 1950s, corporate office building kind of, person. I'm just like, ugh, I'm not that kind of person. I can't do that look. I just can't. It's weird. There's some people who could pull it off and do good. For me, I can't deal with it. So my girlfriend starts my hair. I always tell her, I said, I'm telling you, whatever you do not slick my hair back. Now, not that she likes it, because she don't like that either, so I don't have to worry about that. But I was like, please, for the love of God, don't do that. I'm telling you, I really don't like it that much. Like, less than 1%. Like, whatever the smallest percent is that's before 0. That's how much I don't like it. Like, that, like, literally, I can't do it. I don't like it at all. Right. And then, Soul, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You guys remember, you probably remember that song if you're Gen X. Party in September. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the words right. But the Party in September song, that's what this is. For those who are too young to remember. And then Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion. I love Guns N' Roses. And of course Eminem, which some Eminem songs I listen to, I think he has a bit of a person. I think some things he says he needs to calm the hell down. I think he's a little bit too much of a big mouth. I'm hot-headed too at times. I could be hot-headed too at times, but oh God, I like some songs I could deal with, but some of songs I'm just like, dude, just chill, take a Xanax or something. Like, just calm the heck down. You're getting a little too crazy and sexist and offensive. Like, just calm down. Anyway, but yeah, that was 65, which I barely listen. There's only a few songs I like. Scorpions, 80s rock band. Black Sabbath, everybody knows that. Ozzy Osbourne. Iron Maiden. And 1950s. Chuck Berry's he's a black guy who does guitar and always sings and plays guitar. Now how he does it, I have no idea because I tried to sing and play guitar because I actually used to play guitar a lot. Because I used to be in a band years ago, but now I could do a whole story about that. It's a long story. But yes, at one time I was in a band. Now I forgot like her songs. Some of her songs, I think I liked it. Didn't I already show that? We don't have copies, multiple copies. Willie Nelson, but I also have a lot of Willie Nelson too. Again, obviously this is to say that's Alice in Chains, like 1990s Alice in Chains when they were better. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and Never Ending Travis, Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson that sing songs together. As both their songs and some things that they do together. And of course, Prince and the Revolution. More Willie Nelson, which I think that's the same disc, so I need to get rid of that. I don't want to have the same thing. Prince Forever, which is the same. It was a part of two discs. That's why there's two. And then Journey. And then Metallica and Justice for All. Bonnie Tyler, so like 80s pop music for those who are too young to remember. The first original American Now, see, because for my United Kingdom viewers, this isn't the same thing as the United Kingdom Now CDs. Like it's the American version, and we're way behind you guys. Like you guys had a head start, we're way behind still. But yes, this is the original, very first, Now CD, the American version that came out. I will say, not very good. The songs actually were pretty crap. Like the second, third, and everything else above the first one I liked. But the first one, I was like, I only want it because it's the first Now, so I just want to say I have it. But I'm like, these songs are horrible. And I like 90s songs, and that's when I came out in the 90s. I was born in the friggin' early 90s. And of course, that Rocky, Rocky 4 movie soundtrack, that Nightmare album, that's its Avenged Sevenfold. That has the song Nightmare. And Dukes of Hazzard music, and Van Halen. Now, that's my first case. I got two more cases. I never a big fat case and a small one. Okay. But not long. I know they used to do a video on Brony. Basically, the Brony, like I said, the My Little Pony fandom, or it's adult, or males and bull. They usually the news is that they said adult men, but that's not entirely true. It was for boys or men who liked My Little Pony, and of course, girls or women who liked My Little Pony were called Pegasus sisters. Now I liked it, and I called myself Pony because I used to wear My Little Pony shirts. Like at the time, I really liked. Now I still watch the show now, not as much as I used to, but yeah, I do watch it, and I used to do it. And I remember a long time ago, my long-time subscriber Whisper Diction, which now he goes by OG ASMR. He ended up. He definitely did. I remember particularly one time they asked me to do more of the Brony ASMR. I can't remember if I fulfilled that request or not. I'll probably do it again at some point because I can't remember. I know I did a video or two on my old channel, which unfortunately got deleted. I still have the channel I still have up. The video, I'm still trying to see if I can find a video file. I gotta have them somewhere. It's gotta be somewhere because I had Google and stuff like that, and I record on my phone. So it's gotta be on an old account I don't use anymore. Those videos gotta be somewhere. I know I remember saving some of them. I don't. One of these days I gotta see if I can find them. Anyway, before I ramble on. Alright, Kenny Rogers. Weird Al. 2018 Grammys. That was surprisingly not that bad. Divine, Alan Jackson. That was a really good album. Pure 80s, because I like 80s music. You guys can tell I like old music. Bob Seger. Dokken. 80s. Classical Christmas. Because yes, I do actually like classical music. And I'll actually listen to like Beethoven, which I know sounds crazy because, I'll listen to like heavy metal, death metal, rock, hard rock, like a lot of that stuff, especially heavy metal is my favorite. But then I'm weird and I'll listen to rap or something way off like classical. Some people are like, WTF, like, what? WTF, what? You listen to classical, but then the other day you're listening to heavy metal or death metal and rap. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, basically, I don't know, I'm weird. I got very strange, weird taste in music. And of course, Evanescence, Goo Goo Dolls, Dizzy Up the Girl. It's got the Irish song, the Beatles. That's What I Call Christmas. Elvis Presley, and of course Ozzy Osbourne, Down to Earth. Because when I was an alcoholic, I looked up to Ozzy, and growing up, and when I grew my hair long, I wanted to be just like Ozzy Osbourne. So yeah, so basically, I never really said, but basically yes, when I was trying to be like Ozzy, I drank a lot of alcohol to the point where I almost lost my life to alcohol, and I basically would, and eventually I got addicted to vape, where I was starting to cough up a lung, and I was having lung problems. Surprisingly, I didn't get lung cancer, but I did have some serious problems with my lungs. So unfortunately, I struggled with addiction 2 separate times that almost caused me some serious major health problems. and of course, to make people go crazy on my concerts, I used to do crazy things. I won't get into the whole thing. Basically, one of the things I would do is that you would take hunting knives, and I would swallow hunting knives. Now, not literally like swallow, like sword swallowing, where you put them down your throat. And no, I wasn't trained, and there was nobody on standby. So basically, I was doing something really bleeping stupid. Like I said, when I was young, I wanted to be like Ozzy. I wanted to be wild and crazy, and someone would dare me to do something stupid, and I would do it just to prove that I could do it. That was a crazy time when I was younger. Now, obviously, I do it now because I'm almost 31. It's like I'm too old for that kind of crap. I'm getting too old for that nonsense. Now, if I was a rock star, would I do it nowadays? Some things maybe, but not much. Power Mania, so Def Leppard. Party Hits, I can't remember what's on there. Ozzy Live at Budokan. That was a good album. Disturbed. That was a good album. I can't remember what the album's name is, though. The Alabama Country Music Band. This Christmas songs. I Told You So. It's Randy Travis. Some country music. Black Sabbath, Paranoid. As you tell, I have a lot of Black Sabbath. And then, of course, Metallica. I think that's it. Yep. Now for the third. Yes, you heard it right. Third. Casey. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so don't worry, this is the last one. I know I got a lot of CDs. This is apparently classic rock. I don't know what the heck is on there. Bon Jovi. Prince Forever, that's the other one that took him into this set. Eminem Recovery album. And Disturbed, that one was good. Down to Sickness album. Alan Jackson, Greatest Hits Volume 2. Lady Gaga, The Fame Monster. That was a good album. That came out when I was in high school. Yes, I'm not old. I was in high school. Well, technically, I started high school in the late 2000s. I started in 2008 and graduated in 2012. I've got now number 40, 27, now 62, now 39, now 21. Now that's what I call tailgate anthems, like football music. Now 32, now 21, now 46, now 8, now 35, 40, now 45, so like Trump's number. Now 4, now 42, now 30, now 26, now 64. That was one of the best. Now 23, now 64 was from winter 2016. Now 20th anniversary, now 7, now 36, now 6. That was from somewhere in the early 2000s. It has that na 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 song. Oh, I love that song. You used to hear it at the roller rink all the time. Now number ones, now 31, now 41. That came out in 2012 when I was graduating high school. Now 37, now 33. Now that's what I call 2000s. before. And yes, I like now CDs, the American version, a little too much. I never listened to the United Kingdom version, but I wouldn't mind giving it a try. Importing it from England to here to see, see what their now CD music is like. Because I have no freaking clue. I never listened to it. I wouldn't mind it, but you can't even buy it in America. I have to buy it from some, like United Kingdom site or something like that, and have it shipped over here. Ultimate 80s Collection. I went to FIE, or For Your Entertainment. Basically, if you're too young to remember, basically FIE was like a record store. Record stores basically would buy CDs and DVDs and all that stuff. There's some FIEs around, but they're not as good as they used to. It was like Suncoast or Sam Goody, but I know some of you are probably like, what the heck is a Sam Goody and a Suncoast? Basically the same thing. You would go there and buy physical copies of DVDs and stuff like that. But like I said, I talked to some people, I remember I tell people that, and their kids are like, what the heck is that? We're all laughing. I was like, you're too young to remember. I said I think you would have liked it if you were, if you were a 90s millennial or a 90s Gen Z. I said you would know for sure what that is, and you would have liked it. It was a really good time. Really good place. It's kind of the Warner Brothers store, which they're like, what the heck is a Warner Brothers store? I'm like, oh boy. I was like, what the hell? I said, those are all great stores. I didn't know that. I was like, what do you guys? I said, you didn't teach your kids these stores? This is our childhood. And of course, Coolio, because I like this song. This is the Gangster's Paradise album, since it has a song, Gangster's Paradise, and I love that song. For a rap song, it's not that bad. Ozzy Osbourne, Memoirs of a Madman. Yeah, it sounds like the title of a book of my life as a teenager. Memoirs of a Madman. When I was a band, that basically that would probably be the title of the book. Wolf, Diary of a Crazy Madman. I like to party too much. And then, of course, this one I called Saints Row the Third songs. Yes, like the video game. So if you've seen this Harley Rose, yes, technically before we get GTA 6, I do have an official. Now it's not official with the people who make Saints Row, but I custom made it. But yes, I took songs from Saints Row the Third, and I basically just named it that, Saints Row the Third songs. So in case anybody's curious, those are songs I would listen to in Saints Row the Third. Feel free to pause the video. I remember, I know you particularly, Holly Rose, I know you particularly like Saints Row, so I was like, okay, I still gotta show that CD. It's like, I know she likes the Saints Row games a lot. And the Highwaymen. So basically that was a country album that had Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, and somebody else, I can't remember their name. And they had all country stars. But Willie Nelson is the only one who's actually alive, unfortunately. So unfortunately they can't do a reunion because Willie Nelson's the only one left alive, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think he is. And System of a Down, Toxicity. And then the Alabama album, which is a country music song album. Van Halen, 1984. Alice in Chains, Black Gives Way to Blue. That came out when I was in high school, and I still have it. And I actually never replaced it. That's my original I bought the first day it came out. I went to Target. And Willie Nelson, Redhead Stranger. Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears album. Ultimate CD mix, where it had different custom songs, just like the Saints Row one. Ultimate Country Volume 2, which I had to replace because it doesn't work for crap, unfortunately. It got scratched up too much. Michael Jackson, Special Edition, Thriller. I Told You So, Ultimate Hits of Randy Travis. And again, as you guessed, Dawkins, 80s metal band. I got 3 of their albums at least. And again, I never Ozzy, which obviously you could tell as a teenager, especially I was obsessed with Ozzy. Skid Row, 80s metal, 80s like heavy, like light metal, maybe if you can even call this, probably like hard rock. And Willie Nelson, But Skid Row, I like that album because it had the Youth Gone Wild. I loved that song as a teenager. I used to blast Youth Gone Wild. Especially when I was partying and stuff like that. That's one of the songs I would party to. And when I was 21, that's something I used to party. One of the songs I used to listen to when I was drinking and having a fun time. Okay, Rogers, but of course I think it had that one. So, Billy Ray Cyrus, Ultimate Country Volume 1. That one works surprisingly. Cher, that's because it has that Do You Believe in Life at the Love song. That's the only reason I bought that. Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion too. I like that one because it has the one song I like is Don't Cry, both alternative lyrics. The original Don't Cry, I don't know, I just didn't like the lyrics. I like the Don't Cry alternate, something like that. Lyrics. Basically, they have more lyrics, basically. Justin Timberlake, because it has that Grammy River song. And that one song about dancing, I can't remember what it's called. Some sort of Now CD, I can't remember. What the heck is that? Oh, that's that Mountains Country Music Girl, Scruggs and Flats and Scruggs. Yeah, like really old country music. They're on that. I know they were on the episode of Beverly Hillbillies. And of course, Weird Al music hits, which is something I made customly. Twisted Sister, which of course I did like Twisted Sister, especially growing up. But of course, growing up too, though, when I was in band too, I used to do it too. Actually, I used to wear makeup and stuff like that. Like, I used to wear black eyeliner around my eyes. I'd paint my nails black. I'd have a feather in my long hair and stuff like that. Which sounds crazy because it sounds like like that. Cause I remember doing my own bandmates. They did like some things like, but they used to poke fun at me and say, "Dude, you look like a freaking femboy with the black nail polish and the black." I was like, well, it's like Ozzy Osbourne does that. It's like that's why, I said besides that, I grew up around. So I was raised up that I grew up without a father. My father left, and I had a stepfather, but and of course, being around mostly women, growing up when I had long hair, especially, I liked to paint my nails black. And when I did concerts, I kind of like what rock stars do. I would put black eyeliner and black eyelash mascara on my eyes. Now, a lot of the reasons because it helped to darken around my eyes. So when there was light, and I did gigs, not mostly basically just school gigs, and of course I would get made fun of and be called all sorts of derogatory names for the LGBT community. Words for them that are like very mean. Like basically, I don't want to say what because I don't want to offend people because it was a bit harsh. But they would basically call me that and make fun of me and stuff like that because I had long hair and I like to paint my nails black and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know, it's just what I like. I don't know. I grew up around women, so for me it just seems normal. And my mother would help me. Show me paint my nails. So now obviously I don't do that now, but now if I had a concert and stuff, maybe if it was like for like a costume, or something like that, maybe. But that's about it. And Glenn Campbell, so country music, Dolly Parton, Nickelback, because Nickelback definitely, yeah, I will defend Nickelback to the day I'm dead. I will always in my life defend Nickelback. I saw Nickelback live in concert and they were so good. And to this day, I will defend the living crap out of Nickelback. When so many people hate on Nickelback, it drives me crazy because I'm like, they're a good band. I don't understand why people act like they're overrated. I'm like, they think they're underrated. I'm like, I used to sit there and party to Nickelback a lot and go crazy. Like, that one time I had a dress shirt and I ripped my dress shirt off. That's because when I was younger too, because I wanted to impress girls. Before I was with my girlfriend now, I wanted to impress, of course, and I was skinny back then too. So I was starting to get muscular, but not where I am now. Now obviously, because my body's muscular, it's just that my chest and my stomach is, obese, fat, big, whatever you want to call it. Which sounds weird because other parts of my body are muscular and like the body fat's low, but unfortunately I struggle with having way too much body fat on my stomach area, and then of course my, the chest area or the breast area, hoping to lose the weight there because and it's something I don't mention because I get extremely self-conscious about it, to where like I can't wear like because I don't wear like I want to don't wear a shirt in pools and at beaches, but I tried it once and but I couldn't do it. I put my shirt back on. I felt really embarrassed, and of course I ran and I cried a little bit because I got really just like I said because when it comes to self-conscious, like I get extremely self-conscious even if I was skinny and muscular. Like a body, like if I was ripped like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I want to be like, I want to look like. Eventually, I want to be muscular and big like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Even then, if I was big and muscular like that, I still probably be self-conscious and not wear a shirt. And I probably would be scared because I'd be worried. What if somebody thinks this, or what if somebody thinks that? And even though I was skinny too, I would sometimes be like that, and I couldn't take a shirt off for long. Even though people say, but you're skinny and you're a little bit muscular, I was like, why are you worried about it so much? I was like, I don't know, what if somebody thinks I'm fat, or what if somebody thinks my body doesn't look right, or what if they think this, or what if I embarrass myself, and people would be like, dude, you're fit, just chill out. But, that's how I'm extremely self-conscious. Just, that was the wrong thing. Self-conscious. That's why a lot of times in videos, like, if I do take my shirt off just to, just for the heck of it, or if the room is too hot, I don't, show too much. I only show like the upper of my neck and, maybe the shoulders, deltoid shoulders or whatever. But I don't like to show too much because I get extremely self-conscious. And then I'll end up doing the video, I'll have to redo it, and I'll be worrying about it. And I'll keep worrying about it until it's fixed. It's just, like I said, I don't know, it's just one of those things, I guess. And then, of course, Slipknot, which has goat heads, which, is generally unusual for a Christian like me to have a CD that has goat heads resembling Baphomet. But, like I say, I'm a Christian, I'm a strongly religious Christian who likes to listen to heavy metal music, heavy metal music that would make the church turn their heads around and around and make them question my Christianity. But I definitely am a Christian. I just don't judge. I don't sit there thinking, I'm like, people, it's music. Like, seriously, just chill out. It's like, I watch Hell of a Boss, and that's what I'm telling. That's like about demons and shit. I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm like, people, as long as, it's like, it's just a show. It's just entertainment. As long as you're not letting it take over your mind, and you want to worship the devil, like you're just watching it just because it's funny, or you like certain characters. I'm just like, what's wrong with that? But this is some people, Christians online, say, oh, well, I don't think you're a real Christian. You watch Hell of a Boss, and that's about demons, or you listen to Slipknot, and they talk bad about God and Jesus. I was like, yeah, and I listen to George Carlin, and he's an atheist. George Carlin's an atheist who mocks God and stuff like that. I just don't listen to those parts. I listen to other parts where he doesn't mention God or Jesus, because he's funny jokes, stuff like that. It's like, don't bother me. It's like, it's like me too. I got, some people watch my videos are atheists. I'm like, okay, and I'm a Christian. Okay, so what? Like, don't bother me. It doesn't bother you. Don't bother me. No, we get along perfectly. Like I said, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't understand why it worries people so much. I'm just like, people don't worry about that. Everybody's different. If we were all the same, if everybody thought the same exact thing, like my mother said, the world would be a boring place, lacking creativity and stuff. Now, obviously as a Christian, yes, I do hope and pray that everybody will become Christians and they will believe, and so that they can be saved by Jesus. But people have free will. I respect people's free will, and so I pray for people. I pray for people that I've convinced people who never heard religion become Christian. I've converted atheists. No, not all of them, but some. Stuff like that, or some who just they listen. They don't change their mind all that much. Maybe some things, but they say, I'm like, that's your free will. That's up to you. That's between you and God. Like, I don't get involved in that. Like, that's between you and God. But yeah, if you do believe I'm here, and yeah, as a Christian, yes, I will spread the gospel to anybody. And I admit God that before anybody, and I just say, well, I'm a Christian. I'm going to talk about it because I know that God's real. I know that Jesus is real. I've seen all the evidence to prove that they're very real. I still study science and stuff like that, and yeah, I brought the Bible into science, and stuff like that, and like there's just not enough evidence for me to not believe that there is an all-seeing God that controls everything, and stuff like that, because me, I just I need this like a scientific mindset, stuff like that, and I had to turn it off because the stupid Thomas Kincaid clock had to go off at the wrong time just because. I think it does drive me crazy. But anyway, and of course I forgot what I was going on about. Some of the science in the Bible, I can't remember exactly. Oh yeah, basically say that, with that, I have a mindset of scientifically where, to believe something I need proof. And with all the things I've seen in the world and everything else, there's nothing that tells me that, God doesn't exist. Like, I just say, I don't know if the evidence we have and everything, it just points that there has to be a God. Because when you really think about it too, the world works the earth just perfectly, has the perfect balance of oxygen, oxygen and grass, nature, all that good stuff. Gravity is just perfect, so that it's the balance it needs to be, so that there's not uneven balance, which obviously scientifically, yes, uneven balance, and that could go very wrong. One of the possibilities is everything on Earth could come crashing into each other. We basically all would exist for a second or two, and it would be so fast that, and generally they say it would be so fast that we probably wouldn't notice it because it would happen so freaking fast. Now obviously we won't never know for sure, but stuff like that. I'm just like, and being everything is that certain things are just perfect like that, and nothing. I'm like, it would have to be a God. It would have to be God, because how else would that be without? So if God didn't exist, let's just say it doesn't. Just for the example, how would it be so How would it work so perfect? Something had to create that. Something has to keep it that way. Like God, God, He keeps the world perfect, just perfect, so that it's livable. Where if it wasn't for God, how was it possible that everything was something magically out of thin air, just magically, created something, and then it just, by some strange movie magic, it just stays that way, and it doesn't get unperfect. I'm like, I don't have enough evidence to prove that God has to exist. Just thinking about it, everything has to be made from something, and that said, things having a beginning and an end. Well, when it comes to it, if it wasn't for God, how in the heck would the very first thing that ever existed, whatever that was, whatever it was, air, oxygen, space, whatever it was, how did it become everything else? Something had to motivate it, or push it, or nurture it, so it would continue to grow. I heard a screaming noise, so I get a little. Sometimes when I hear noises in my room, I get a little paranoid and worried. But how did it have to be? Because how would the world work so perfectly for us that we could sustain life for thousands of years, if not millions of years, or even billions? Before I get completely off topic, because I'm getting off topic now at this point of this video, but I wanted to ramble on and bullshit a little bit, so that way, this video is nice and long, not short. And of course, Night Songs, that was the band Cinderella, and no, not Cinderella from Disney. There was an 80s hair metal band named Cinderella. I like this album, Night Songs album, because it's got night songs. Nobody's Fool, that's my favorite one, Nobody's Fool. There's one other song I can't remember, I haven't listened to it so long, I can't remember. But yeah, Nobody's Fool. I like that one. That was one of my favorites. And that is the one that usually I would keep in the car, since my car has a CD player. You know, as great as this sounds, but I don't like that Apple Play and stuff. It's just strange to me. To me, it's stupid and strange. Maybe it's just me. I'm an old soul, so maybe it's just me. I don't know. I always found it kind of odd and strange. Like, I don't mind having it. Like, my grandfather's truck used to have his old truck used to have a touchscreen radio with all the fancy technology, but it had a CD player too. But of course, it was a truck, so I don't mind that. Like, I like that because it's futuristic. But but with no CD player, I'm just like, yeah, I'm okay. I'll pass. So I can't stand push button start and no CD player. It's just, I'm an old soul. So for me, I think it's kind of annoying, strange, and just, what's the point of it? I kind of never understood